What's going on? What's going on, YouTube? Uh, man, I want to give my thoughts on well, more so on the best in show at the ABKC Nationals, 2019. That was in Houston, Texas. The first dog, well, the dog that won was the dog that should have won. I looked at the whole, you know what I'm saying? I looked at that whole best in show class, and the dog that was picked was the best conformationally correct dog. Let's see, you had 9 dogs. You had a shorty bull. No, I'm sorry, you had a French bulldog. Then you had a shorty bull, then an English bulldog, then a bull terrier, then the American pit bull terrier. Then you had the American bully. Then you had the oldie bulldog, the American bulldog, and the Dogo Argentino. Now those are 9 dogs that I just named. Now out of those 9, my top 3 would have been the American Pit Bull Terrier, of course, was number 1. Number 2 on my list would have been number 3 on my list would have been the Bull Terrier. The French Bulldog, the rear stifle was just super straight. I didn't really see any angulation on it. The Shorty Bull top line was just horrible. I mean, rear end was just high. It wasn't slightly high. It was like, it was pretty bad, you know. And then like earlier in the show, it was a dog that crapped in the ring. It was a blue tri. He was a nice dog. You know, I think, you know, up until, well, he was nice even after he did that, but I think that if he hadn't done it in the ring, I think he probably would have placed, you know, but he didn't even place. But if you notice, like them heavier dogs, like let's talk about the grand champion class, right? Them big heavy dogs, them dogs that people be talking about, they want more mass and more bone, and man, them dogs, as far as trying to put them in a show ring, they shouldn't even been in the show ring. Like, I mean, some of them were limping, their angulation was off, rear ends was high, top line was fucked up. I mean, it was just a lot of things that I saw last night. A lot of dogs got exposed. See, it's one thing to take a picture of a dog. Anybody can stack a dog real good and make it take a good photo. But we're talking about when you actually see it in person, you see it moving, and the dog starts to gait, then all the flaws gonna see. You can stack a dog and hide a flaw. You can stack a dog, you can train him to stand good. But see, that judge looking at when the dog is moving. Once the dog begins to gait, begins to move, it's gonna go back into its natural stance. The flaws. It's gonna show it once the dog begins to move. The flaws are gonna come back out in the dog. So you can try to stack it and push the back legs back and to try to hide the high rear, you know, pull real back real far on the hind quarters to try to make the ass end not look so high. You can do all that, but when that dog begin to gait, it's gonna, you know, you're gonna see really what, you know what I'm saying, what the dog is. So I mean, that just, I don't know, man. I mean, if there was people, a lot of people like that type of dog. I mean, they want something mad, but me personally, I think they just too much weight on them. They too overdone for me. That's just what I think. I think a dog should be taller to be that massive, and they shouldn't be that short. That's just my opinion on it. Now let's go back to the best in show class. That's really what I wanted to do the video about. The pit bull won. But like after the show was over last night, I'm watching, you know what I'm saying, certain videos or whatever on Facebook. And you hear people making excuses for the dogs that they like, the dog Samson. the more massive, heavy-boned, big-headed dog. They were making excuses for him, blaming on the handler. Where the handler should have corrected him once he started the gate. Or when a dog starts the gate, and if the handler don't hold his head up and he let the dog hold his head down, then the rear end is going to look high. It's going to look high because that's what he has. He has a high rear end. So that's why, regardless if he hold his head down or not, it's going to show. I mean, that's what the dog had. Like, you can't, like, it was crazy last night. I heard somebody say on a live last night, was like, we like to stack the dogs. We like to stack the dogs to try to hide flaws. Like, what kind of crazy shit is that? Like, you can hide it, but it's not going to go away. Like, it's still there. You know what I'm saying? The flaw is still, you can, like I said, you can stack it and make it look good see, it's more than photos. It's about video. It's about, like, seeing the dog. Photos is one thing. When you talking about getting in the show ring and showing dog, a lot of these dogs, they just take good, they stand good, and they can get stacked well, and they can take a good photo. But when you in that show ring, your dog begin to move, and it's a video where people can actually see your dog, then it's going to show up. But so you can't blame it on the handler and say, well, the dog Samson, and I don't even think he should have got reserved, to be honest with you. I would have gave it to the oldie. But you can't make up excuses for him and say, well, he lost because the handler didn't know how to correct him once he started moving, incorrectly in his gait. You can't blame it. That's just how he bred. He was super high in the rear. Super high. This is what I think. I think the dog that he was at part of the grand champion class. I think the dog Bowser. He should have represented the American Bully in the Best in Show. I think Bowser was he was a blue tri. I'm not saying he should have represented because of his color. I'm just saying that's what color he was. But I think he should have represented the American Bully in the Best in Show class, not Samson. And I'm not hating on the dog with it. He was a beautiful, had a beautiful coat on him, had a big old head on him, heavy bone. But I mean, he just wasn't put together nice to be in the show ring, to be showing. We talking about showing a dog with everybody looking at your dog. So I just don't think he should have been in the Best in Show class representing the American Bully. But I mean, I saw some. I mean, the judge, and then you had one judge. He judged the whole show. He judged all the classes. So, I mean, some people on Facebook, on certain lives I was watching, some people didn't like what he was picking. Some people did, so they felt like he wasn't putting his hands on the dogs and wasn't really touching the dog body enough. He was just he wasn't putting enough hands on with his judge and what people were saying. But like I said, the pit bull that won, the dog should have won. I said that from the door. But then at the same time, I was like, oh, but this the ABKC, you know how they get down, you know what I'm saying? They probably gonna pick that big Samson looking dog. Cause that's just what I felt like they were gonna do. And they didn't. I mean, and the dog that won was the dog that should have won. And I noticed, like, Dave Wilson, he wasn't smiling when they took a picture with the girl that owned the pit bull that won. Like, it was her, and I think it was 4 people next to her. And I think out of them 4 people, I think 2 of the people were smiling. Like the other people that were standing next to her. I remember Dave Wilson, he didn't smile at all. I saw that on live last night, but like I said, a lot of people mad this morning, feeling some kind of way because the pit bull won. I mean, the dog that won should have won, hands down. So I mean, it ain't no other way to put it. Ain't nobody, people not crying or whatever. Hey, the pit bull won the show. So, but like I said, then that was my actually I went to Nationals in 2016. And I've seen a lot of these, a lot of the big name dogs like Mandela and Denzel and Lucky Luciano and El Toro and what's his name, Mufasa. I've seen them in person. So, I mean, it's one thing to see a picture of a dog, but it's another thing to see him in person. So, but like I said, I didn't go to this national right here. You know what I'm saying? I just figured I was just watching online, watching at home. But I mean, that's a dog that won, and I'm proud of her. I was happy for the girl. She was so excited. She was so happy. She was jumping up and down. I was glad for her. You know, I congratulated her, you know, on the live feed or whatever. But I'm glad that she won, and she should have won. So that's all I really want to say. I just want to, you know, get my thoughts on, you know, on nationals or whatever, and what I thought about it. All right, y'all take care.